good, YouTube? It's your boy S.O.G. Welcome back to the channel, and today we're gonna go ahead and debunk or talk about Canik MC9's issues / concerns about the drop safety. Now, previously I did make a video on this based on some of the allegations that were put up against the MC9, some of people's experiences with the drop safety. Some people have said that their gun has discharged or that the striker has gone off when activated once they drop it. And today I want to talk a little bit about the drop safety features on the Canik MC9.
Pop it off! Don't think, just go! Here we go. Do it, yes.
Before we get into this video, do me a favor and hit the like button and subscribe if you haven't already. First and foremost, I want to say that I don't want to minimize or call anybody a liar.
Your ass be lying. Okay, whatever.
In terms of their experiences, if you have dropped this and the firing pin went off, or if the gun has discharged. So if you've had those experiences with this, man, I feel sorry for you. I'm sorry that it happened. I hope everybody was all right, and I hope it doesn't happen again in the future. But what I want to bring forth in this video is basically some of the features that keep the Canik MC9 from being drop safe, and the first one being the trigger. So before we start messing around with the handgun, we're going to go ahead and check that it is free and clear of any ammunition. No ammo there, no ammo here, so we are good. Now the first drop safety feature on this Canik, well, I guess I wouldn't say drop safety, but it's just a safety feature, is on the trigger. So this little red dingleberry that's on the trigger there, that's the safety trigger. So if you press back with just the black part, the trigger doesn't go anywhere. You got to push the safety and then pull back on the trigger for this to actually function correctly.
Oh my god! Wow!
Now, in order for us to see how this works, we're going to remove the slide from the frame. Alright, now that we've got that out of the way, I'm going to show you guys here a little closer in depth. And as you guys can see, there's this bar that kind of goes up and down or back and forth, whatever you want to call it. And that's how that trigger works. Without depressing the safety on the trigger, it doesn't go anywhere. It kind of just stops itself right there. So how it works is when the slide is on the frame and it's together like this, and you're pushing the trigger, and this is going back and forth, it actually presses down on the safety plunger, which is right here, which is the other safety part. Now this is the drop safety, I guess you could call it, because in order for this to function and the gun go off, you have to pull the trigger for that. You have to pull this trigger so that this bar makes contact with the safety plunger. And what happens is it depresses it or pushes it down, and it allows the firing pin to move freely all the way through to make contact with your primer, and you end up with this. So in order for that firing pin to have enough force, or maybe not enough force, but for it to move all the way out to make contact with the primer, you have to pull the trigger to move that trigger bar to push the safety plunger in for it to come out. So the firing pin, which is all through here, does not move all the way out unless this has been depressed. So I'm going to show you guys what I'm talking about here. If we remove that, so the firing pin is behind this block right here, and let's see if I can get a good. All right, so the firing pin comes out of here, so I'm going to push this up like that because that's how it would essentially work. Now if you guys look in there, you see nothing coming out as I'm pushing up on it, right? But now if I depress this and push up at the same time, you'll see that now it's coming out, and that is what makes contact with your primer. So this sits in here like this, right? Sits in there like that, and when you're pushing up on the striker, it doesn't make contact with it. But the moment you push down on that plunger, the safety plunger, you see that? It shoots it right out. And that's what causes the gun to go off. So it's really hard, I don't want to say to believe that people have had this experience, because this is, you know, it's a gun. It's made by men, and men make mistakes, right? But for the most part, this gun is completely drop safe because of that feature, because of the fact that it can't go off unless there's contact with the trigger being pulled all the way back. With the first safety being pressed, with that trigger bar being moved, with the second safety plunger being depressed or pressed in, and with that firing the firing pin pushed all the way forward to make contact with that primer. So unless all of that is being done, I don't see there being a way for that round to go off normally. Like I said, I don't want to take nobody's negative experiences away and call you a liar, because there's got to be a balance to this. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like when people say this gun is trash, or people say this is the greatest gun they've ever owned. It all depends on your experience. But for the most part, this gun is drop safe, and I hope you guys can have a little bit of peace of mind now knowing how it works and that it does prevent it from going off if you were to drop it. Appreciate you guys for watching. As always, stay tuned for the next video, and as always, God bless you guys. Take care.